welcome to the channel. It's Gary here, and today we're looking at Reel Around the Fountain. It's classic Smiths from the first album. This is another request which I've looked at over the last few days. I think I've got it pretty close. It's a great song. I've always loved this song. To be honest, I never actually knew how to play it myself, so I've worked on it for this lesson. Best way to learn guitar is to do guitar tutorials yourself, and then you learn these things. So I hope you're going to like it. If you're new to the channel, then please give me a like if you do enjoy it, and subscribe to the channel. It helps me grow it. And as always, we're going to get close up, break down all the parts of the song. I dreamt about you last night and I fell out of bed twice. It still makes me laugh, that lyric. Always loved it, always will, I think. So let's get close up and we'll look at Reel Around the Fountain. Right, there we go. So hopefully you can see everything there. So for this one, we're in standard tuning. As you can see, I've got a capo at the 2nd fret. There are a couple of versions of this song actually in different keys. You never quite know what key it's going to be in. You hear the drums start and then they go off in a different key, but I'm going for the album version. I think this is the one that most people would listen to. So it's capoed at the 2nd fret. Tone wise, I'm on the clean channel of the amp, on the middle position, pickup, and I've got the usual Smiths effects. So I just have boss pedals. So I've got chorus, I've got tremolo, Hampstead tremolo actually, boss digital delay, and some reverb through the amp, bit of compression, a little bit of delay, a little bit more tremolo in this one maybe than some other songs. Just hear it a little bit there. And for this one, as I did with my video for There Is a Light That Never Goes Out, if you've not seen that, then please check it out. But what I'm going to do is approach it from the point of view of the underlying chords and then put together fills and arpeggio parts to the chords, which I think is probably how Johnny wrote it. I don't know, but I would imagine that's what he did, came up with the chords and then just worked his own little fills in, you know, as you're just playing it there, just put these little parts in. So some of them are close to the chords, the way we'd normally play the chords. Some are different, some chords we play differently a few different times in the song. So we'll look at all those parts as we go through. So what I'm going to do is play the first part, the introduction, and then we'll break it down. So I'm starting there with a G chord, but it's not quite as a normal G chord. It's too bright and happy for the song, so I'm not playing the 1st string, 3rd fret there. I'm actually playing B3, and we're not really playing the 1st string, and I'm playing the root on the 3rd fret of the 6th string, and then just muting the A string. You can put the 2nd fret down on the 5th string there as you would in a normal G chord. You can play it like that. It's just habit with me. I sometimes just do that. I do it automatically for forming a G chord, but that's the chord you want, and you can actually play it a different way. You can, with your thumb, if you want to bring your thumb over and just catch that note there. You can play it that way too. So the first chord of the song, we get this. So I'm taking my finger off the B string. We take that up to a D now. But it's a D sus2, so I've got the open 1st string, strumming from the D string. impossible to name every single note I'm playing as I go through this, so I'm going to try and just do is play it really slowly, and hopefully you can see what I'm doing. But I still think it's better to approach it in this chord way rather than a tab, which looks just like a series of individual notes, and I'm not sure it's quite as fluent playing it that way. Personally, it's just my opinion. So we've got G and D up to now. The next chord is an E minor, but we're not playing our normal E minor, we're going to play this. Sounds absolutely brilliant, really atmospheric. So I'm just holding down the 5th string there, 2nd fret, as we would as part of the normal E minor chord, but I've got my little finger on D4 from the capo, and then strumming, well not strumming, but plucking from the 6th string. So all together from the top we've got this. And then we slide our finger up on the A string to that C note, so all these notes are in relation to the capo. And we mirror it on the B string, 3rd fret. And then take our finger off the B string. And I'm just plucking upwards on those B and G strings there. Catch the D string at the 4th fret as a kind of passing note before we go back to the G. So all together so far, very slowly from the top, we've got this. On that G, playing the B string, the open G, and then the open 1st string. So the underlying chords for that first part, just to recap them, we've got our G, up to D, I'm playing an open 1st string to give us that D sus2, down to E minor, to a C. That's what's going on underneath there. Just wanted to strum along, but the guitar part Johnny plays. Alright, so the vocals have come in over that part. It's time the tale were told of how you took a child and you made him old. You made him old, and then it goes around again. It's time the tale were told. So we're back on G. This time, when we go to D, instead of playing the D sus2 part that I've just showed you down here, we get this. Which is just another way of playing a D chord. And he does this actually, if you've seen my video on That Joke Isn't Funny Anymore, it's the same D position. So I'm holding down the 1st string at the 5th fret from the capo. And then I've got the B and G strings at the 7th fret from the capo, 9th fret of the guitar. That's strumming it. bring my pinky in there on the B string, the 10th fret on the guitar. And back to the G string, which I'm holding down as part of that chord. And then back to our E minor part, which is exactly the same as it was first time round. So that's the first section. Alright, so after 2 measures of that first part, we're up to the part where the vocals turn to Reel Around the Fountain, and the guitar part sounds like this. I'll play through it and then we'll break it down. Okay, so after those first 2 measures, the first bit we looked at, we've landed on our G. Now, what you can do is play the other G position I showed you earlier on. You could finish there, it puts you in a better position to just move down like that, okay? So I'm just holding, it's an E shape there, but I've just brought it up to the 5th fret from the capo. Okay, and then I'm holding first 2 strings, barring across them. When we get down to the 1st fret from the capo there, I'm lifting my finger off, so it's kind of an F major 7 chord. G position, F sharp, and then this F major 7, because I'm bringing my first finger, instead of barring those first 2 strings, I've got an open first string. Down to an E minor, and then I'm catching the B string, the open B string. Then putting my finger back down on the 1st fret. An open first string with it. I'm using quite a lot of up strums on these thinner strings. Difficult to explain this, but hopefully just by playing it slowly you'll be able to follow, get my drift. Then we're going to go to the song chord, move to be an A minor actually. But instead of just playing an A minor chord, Johnny does something like this. So I'm just holding down D, 2nd fret, G string, 2nd fret with an open A string. And then taking my finger off the G string. On the B string as a normal A minor, so very slowly. He takes it off again, and then he's transitioning to F major 7 chord again, but with an open B string. Open first string there, so I'll just play through that part again very slowly from this A minor part. So on an E minor. And I'm just hammering on and off that B string, first fret, and plucking upwards. And you do it twice. So just raking down the strings from the B. So catching the G and D. And then again. And then two measures of just the normal D chord. I'll play through that whole section again very slowly. And then we're up to 15 minutes with you vocal. So this part's probably a little bit easier and the vocals turn to 15 minutes with you. I'll just play through it and then we'll break it down. We've got this. Nice stuff, isn't it? Nice guitar playing. So we've got this G chord. Again, I'm holding the B string. I'm not holding down this first string. I'm not playing it really. I'm just strumming this G chord up to that B. But just picking on some of the strings in an arpeggio way. So that's our D sus2. Picking upwards from the B string, B, G, and then the open E string. Yeah, sorry, I should have said as well. I'm taking my finger off that B string as I transition on the chord. So we start with it. Down to an E minor. But we don't stay on that E minor, we get this. So it's like the bottom of a G chord. But I'm pulling on and off B1. And I'm brushing the strings upwards. So that first measure again. I'm plucking upwards. The most important parts are the B string, the G, these strings in the middle, but I can catch a bit of the root of the chord. Just a little bit, just fills it out slightly. So that's the first bit. The second time it goes round, it lands on C and it sounds like this. So it's the same start as we did before. Up to the D. This time. So it's just a C chord, but I'm plucking upwards from that C note on the B string. Take my finger off. So those two parts back to back sound like this. where we are in the song. These are 15 minutes with you. Right, 15 minutes with you. Wouldn't say no, all people see no worth it. Now here we have a different chord. It's a kind of F sharp. So I'm holding down the D and A strings there, 4th fret from the capo, G string at the 2nd fret, and we're plucking from the A string. And then we take our finger off the G string, keep the other 2 down. And I'm plucking back up the B and G string there, so it doesn't really matter exactly what order you play those strings in, actually, because it all happens quite quickly. So then we land on a C chord. I'm strumming that down from the root there, and then upwards from this note on the B string. Taking my first finger on and off the B string. So I'm keeping the other fingers down as part of the chord. It's just that that B string, and then a D. So again, slowly. Trying to play it slow. It's harder to play slow. Just seems to flow better when you're playing at normal speed. Upward strikes on that D again, that D sus2 from the B string there. So that whole section goes round again, 15 minutes with you, I wouldn't say no, and then it resolves with 15 minutes with you, people see no worth in you, oh but I do, and then we land on this, we're on this C, we stay on the C. So before we had this, this time it's slightly different. We bring the open first string into it. So I'll play through it and then we'll break it down. So all I'm doing there is just moving between a C and an A minor 7. Strumming downwards on that C root. Open first string, so plucking upwards again on this B. So down. The G into it there, pulling off there, alright. it's a downward stroke on the root, then plucking upwards on the B string. So when I'm pulling my finger off that B string there, I'm striking it twice, but as my finger coming off rings the note on the third one. And then we're just going to walk down on the root to the A minor 7. So we're here, passing note to the open A string, to an A minor 7. It's exactly the same really, but just with an A root in this one. Goes round quite a few times. You'd have to listen to the record, I'm not sure how many, sort of 8 or 12 times, something like that, and then it resolves like this. Before we go back into the verse on the G again. So all I'm doing there, we just, when we were on one of our C, we land on the C, so alright, we're back on the C. I'm strumming up the C, pulling my finger off so it goes to C major 7, just sliding up, so it becomes a D really. It's a C shape but we've moved it up to a D, and it gets that nice sort of discordant feel about it. Into the next verse. Just recapping, going over a couple of those parts and a couple of tips really. I think there are a couple of bits that aren't that natural, at least for me, to play when I look at it. One of them is when I come out of that E minor. So we play this earlier on in the song, move into this C position. So you can do it sort of, I would say just do it whatever is most comfortable for you. So you could do it with those fingers, or you could do slide up. Because you've got to catch this, that D note there, and it's a little bit awkward. Just to buy you a bit of time before you get back into the chord. And if you play the chord like that, it's a little bit easier than getting back into this chord. So you can vary the way you play the G chord as to what's easiest, where it follows in the song, if that makes sense. second way. So I just played didn't quite play the chord right there. And you're in a better position there to go into Reel Around the Fountain rather than this G chord. You're already here. So that's what I've come up with for Reel Around the Fountain. It's classic Smiths. I really hope you've enjoyed the lesson. Let me know what you think. I love hearing from you. And you know, if you've got ideas for other tracks, then I'm always open to having a look at them. I don't always know them, so if there's a lag before me putting videos out, then you know, sometimes it's just because I'm looking at it, seeing whether I think I can do it justice. So as always guys, enjoy guitar playing. Until the next time, and I'll see you soon.